Guranga Gaurangera Shangi Gane Neta Siddha Kodimane Shangi Gane Gaurangera Shangi Gane Neta Siddha Kodimane She Jai Prajendra Shudapas She Jai Prajendra Shudapas Shri Gaura Mandal Bhumi Jeva Jane Chintamani Shri Gaura Mandal Bhumi Jeva Jane Chintamani Jeva Jane Chintamani Tara Hoy Braja Bhumi Bas Tara hoy braja bhumi vas Gaura prema rosha narbe Shetarangi jebadube Shri Radha Madhav Anta Ganga Shri Radha Madhav Anta Ganga Grihe babone te thake ha gaudanga bole take ha gaudanga bole take Grihe babone te thake ha gaudanga bole take Naratama mage tara shanga Naratama mage tara shanga Grihe babone te take ha gauranga bole dake gauranga bole dake Narottama Maggetad Shongo Narottama Maggetad Narottama Maggetad Shongo This Grihe Babonete Take Hago Ranga Boledake. Narottam Das Thakur is singing. Actually, these bhajan, Vaishnav bhajan, we don't actually have to. You have the bhajan open there, you have it open there, you can see as we discuss. Probably be better, if we had it like under these conditions of the board, but anyway, just by hearing. You have to remember the lines, actually. If you remember this bhajan, then you can. It doesn't have to logically like one line going to the next line. Like if you have your lesson in engineering or in economics, or it's like one point, the main point, next point you have to, and this point goes to that point, and then at the end this point. And this way you go through the points, and they're the. You got to start at the beginning, go through the points. He says this like a story. No, it's not like that. When you hear Srila Prabhupada sing the bhajans, Srila Prabhupada, he'll sometimes sing 1-2 lines, and then he'll sing a line from the last stanza, and then again he'll come back, sing the first line, and then again he'll sing a line from the second stanza, 1-2 lines, and then again he'll sing the first line. And then again, he'll go to a line here in the third stanza. It doesn't matter, because it's not like, like one step to the next. Like when you put your ATM card in the machine, and the first thing it asks you is English or Hindi. Right? You press whatever. I press English, and then it says savings. You have to. Right? So in that way, you're kind of forced to. What was the previous topic?
No, step by step.
Yeah, you have to go unless you complete if you don't press anything, you can't progress. This is the experience I have when I'm dealing with this material world. I don't know, how about you? Do you have that experience when you put your card in? Baba. It's not just me. I thought that was just happening to me. Now, with this bhajan, Vaishnava bhajan, you don't need to go from one line to the next. You can just it just doesn't matter. It's not like, oh, how's that? Why is it Grihe Babonete Take? Why has that come after? Was it Goda Prema Rasha Nobe Jeba Shaitorangi Jeba Dube? She Radha Madhav Antaranga Grihe Babonete Tako. It's not that necessarily one leads to the other. They're just expression of the bhab of Mahashai Narottam Das Thakur. Yeah, that's good. Narottam Das Thakur. That's his expression of his emotion. So some of these things, Grihe Babonete Take. We don't have to start in the beginning and explain the meaning to you. Just a few things that come to mind. So we're Bonete Take. This is how do you feel today about? I mean, I could even lean back on this tree, Bonete Take. So this is Bon. This is Bon. Yeah, Bon. Bon. Everybody's looking at the thing. It's Bon. You know what is Bon? Yes, Bon. Anybody don't know what is Bon? Bon, Brinda Bon. Vrindavan. So Bon is? Yeah, so this is Bon. 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 So we've come to the Bon. And Narottam sings that last line is Grihe Babonete Take. Grihe Babonete Take. Grihe means in your home. Babonete Take. Bonete in the forest. Take Tako means stay there, and take means having stayed there. Grihe babonite teke. Ha Gauranga bole dako. Grihe babonite tako. Ha grihe babonite tako. He says, Ha Gauranga bole dako. That's Grihe babonite tako. Tako. So you stay at home. You stay in Mumbai. Grihe. And Ha Gauranga bole dake. Ha Gauranga. Ha Gauranga. Ha Gauranga. Ha Gauranga. So Ha Gauranga bole dake at home. Imagine that. You see Ha Gauranga. We can actually learn how to. We can learn how to interact. We don't have to. Or here, many things. Jai Gauranga nama lo tara hoy prem udoi. Jai Gauranga nama loy. Those who take the name Gauranga. Gauranga. Tara hoy prem udoi. Udoi means awakening of prem. So this is a beautiful song. And also here we're in the Bon, and we're Ha Gauranga in the Bon. But also he says in that song, he says we sang it that Sri Gaura Mondal Bhumi. Gaura Mondal Bhumi. So today, I mean, this is it. We are experiencing, you are so close. If you're sitting on the plastic, okay, I'm sitting on this. But actually, this is the real, we're so close to it. And then when I saw the opportunity of sitting with my back to the tree, then I thought, oh, that even makes me more connected. Because this tree is connected to Gaurmandal Bhumi. I'm fully surcharged, been in touch with it for maybe hundreds of years. So therefore the trees are in the Holy Dharma also, they're Kalpabrika. Especially trees like this that are so close to the deity. And they've been here for hundreds of years. And this place, how do you find the environment here? I mean, is this pretty special? And no one is going to say anything to us. We can stay here till 6 p.m., 7 p.m. No one will say anything. And we can come here every day and do that. And the Lord's being worshipped. And see the Lord, and you took darshan this morning? And anyone was in your room? And how was your darshan? Lord Jagannath. And kirtan. And you could offer a lamp? Oh, so, wow. I mean, wow. And how was that without me kind of preempting by saying, wow. How was that experience? Offering a lamp to Lord Jagannath? Huh? You see, actually, this is more than even if you come at festival time, then it'll be like security there. So a day like this, any day, so every day you come. And every day is a festival. Every day is a festival. Do you ever see in any temples like where you can get such facility to love the Lord and a facility like this? This ISKCON, it's Prabhupada. Amazing, huh? All of these things combined together. Prabhupada and then ISKCON and then Mayapur. Mayapur also, the Holy Dharma is very kind. So she can give experiences like this. This is not something that by chance we get. Like a pristine environment, like you're in the heavens. And what we're going to do, we're going to hear the Sri Gaura Modhu Leela. Charkorne Prabhu Shila. We're going to hear the Sri Gaura Modhur Leela, Mahaprabhu's Sannyasa Leela. Last night he just stepping out the door. So we're going to hear the Gaura Modhu, sweet, Modhu, honey, Modhur, Sri Gaura Modhur Leela. Charkarne Prabhu Shila, those whose ears the end is into, Ridoy Nirmal Bhelo. All of the impurity in the heart is destroyed. Nirmal Bhelo Tar, Ridoy, Nirmal Bhelo Tar. All of the impurity comes out of the heart. Then Tare Mui, to them Mui is very intimate and traditional way of saying I in Bengali traditional Shadu Bhasha Mui. Tare Mui Jai Boli Hari Jai. Prabhupada translates Jai as bravo. Bravo. To me and to them, bravo, I say. Those who those who, what was it? Gauranga Namaloi Jarahoi Premudoi, yeah, Taremui, yeah, She Gauranga Namaloi, Tarahoi Premudoi, Taremui, Jai Boli Hari. To them I say bravo. Narottam Das Thakur. So yeah, we're very fortunate here to be here in this place, and we can hear what went on. So maybe Mahaprabhu gave the analogy, Pipalakanda. It's an Ayurvedic medicine, and it's meant to reduce bile, but it was increasing the bile. So in this case, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the state of experiencing the bhav, the bhakti, the prema, which would awaken in his heart, and he would experience, and he would manifest that actually was causing the people to be critical of him, and so in this way he decided to accept sannyas, and it's just, it's not really much of a, because it's in the scripture, sannyasa so there's no kind of like real debate over it. Everyone just immediately from the time he mentions it, everybody just laments. Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, they're all not approving. Mukunda, those three people have been told. Mukunda, Nityananda. It's interesting when you see in these situations when Mahaprabhu, he interacts with devotees, who he interacts with, why he selects those devotees. It's very interesting. He selects Gadadhar Pandit, first Nityananda Prabhu. And we chanted that verse yesterday. That was such a sweet verse. That Mahashai Tumare Kohiye Nije Ridoy Nishchoy. Mahaprabhu, he let me please speak to you Nije Ridoy. I will speak to you my Nije Ridoy, my own personal heartfelt. And he first of all, in that way, that was how Mahaprabhu first of all made an announcement. He didn't write a post on his Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen, I herein proclaim that I am abandoning the deep dark well of household life, and I am progressing toward the ashram of complete renunciation. He first of all, he said to Lord, it's very interesting. First of all, he said to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he said that Nija Ridoy, let me reveal to you something which is deep in my heart. And that's how he first of all, and that is all he said to spread the news. That's all he said. It was a very confidential, private sharing with Lord Nityananda. That's all he said. And then he could be completely absorbed in the preparation for the sannyasa. Just what a way of behaving, what a Brahmin, what a way of keeping his mind completely. He just, in confidence to one person, he revealed it in a very private way, without having to get into a whole thing about the external and my position and my public image. Nothing about worrying about anything like that. And he just to Lord Nityananda, and he said, "You tell 5 people." Sachimata, Mukunda, Nityananda, Chandrasekhar. And in this way, Mahaprabhu prepared himself for a few days. Sachimata knew. So that was pretty amazing. Yeah, okay. So then, we heard how Mahaprabhu, that day he was doing Sankirtan with the devotees, and then he got the lao from Sridhar, and then some milk, and then Sachimata cooked it, and he ate that hot prasadam, and then went into Yoga Nidra, and Haridas and Nityananda Prabhu were with him. Haridas, and they were sleeping beside him. And then Sachimata was sitting in the door, because she knew that, and then, he gets up, and as she's leaving, he held her hands, and he's saying, "Oh, you've given me so much. By everything I've got as a result of your protection and your care and your nourishment." Then he put his hand on her chest, and he said, your material and spiritual, all requirements, it's my burden, it's my responsibility, right? And then even though he accepts sannyas, we see that Sachimata, by the mercy of Mahaprabhu, and she was obviously loved, so much supported emotionally by the Navadip community, because she was Sachimata, so he, in that way, he's, without him personally abandoning, without him personally compromising the principles of sannyas and having some consideration about his bodily, biological relatives and their welfare, which would be a compromise to sannyas, which means that you've given up interest in your body. And you've already lost interest in that, and that's going to be cared for by Krishna or not cared for by Krishna, and you'll accept as it is. So you're not going to care for, you don't want to be involved in that. So he did, but at the same time, she was completely, obviously, Loki Priya, Vishnu Priya. I mean, there's a temple. There's a temple there in Navadip. Oh, that place. We could go there and discuss a little bit about, that place, well, could go there and discuss a little bit about Loki Priya and Vishnu Priya, their wedding and, relationship in her temple. Wouldn't that be nice, huh? Whoa. Here it can always be any time. Here it's just like, but some special places. Like I was saying, actually, if we'll carry on. We'll carry on. We were there at the place, the Sannyasa leela. So Sachimada, I will look after you, everything. And then that's it. So Mahaprabhu is about to leave, and now we're going to hear how he journeys to Katwa. Shuno, Orer Bhai Prabhu Sannyas, Jai Kotha Shunile Hoy Sharva Bandanash. Jai Kotha Shunile. We're in the, actually, if you want to see where we are in the, this is Madhya Leela, chapter number 28, text 105 of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Madhya Leela, chapter 28, text number 105, Chaitanya Bhagavat. So Lord Nityananda, he mentioned to those, he informed those 5 people. He informed those 5 people that Nityananda, Gadadha Mukunda Chandrasekhar Acharya, Brahmananda Bharati, Mahaprabhu informed them about Mahaprabhu's sannyas, and that they had also they've gone to Katwa. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left and then he traveled by boat from here, from Mayapur. He traveled by boat and he went north. And it would have taken him almost the day. And by boat from here, that's with not with a big engine. Oh, Mahaprabhu, did he have a computerized booking, or did he get a seat when he arrived there, Prabhu? Or did they hire a special speedboat for him, Prabhu? No, they had a maji. Maji means he's there with the oar, right? That's how they would travel. And then that's going against, I took bath yesterday at Katwa, and Ganga, she was flowing, Nitai Madhav was so. On 2 or 3 occasions, I nearly got swept away. You wouldn't have, I would have been maybe appearing today in out of the water. But she was like moving so swiftly. So for that all day, it took all day, Mahaprabhu went in the boat, and the man was rowing all day. So in the evening he arrived on the bank of Ganga. There, that ashram where we went, that's just on the bank of Mahaganga. We didn't go to Ganga, but Mahaganga just a few meters. And then there would have been no concrete roads and drains and tea stalls, and tea stalls were there, and different things were there. And there's a town and people living, and then it would have just been the ashram of the great sage on the bank of Ganga, and maybe not other people around there. Maybe just the sages there doing penance. And Mahaprabhu arrives in his boat and comes up to the ashram, and so he arrives at that time, looking like a maddened lion, Mahaprabhu. He's just given up. He's left home. He's still wearing his yellow dhoti, his long hair. Maybe he's just shoulders, but he's just coming to give up. It's like amazing. He came off the boat. Where is that sage? Where is that sannyasi Keshav Bharati? Like a maddened lion. Mahaprabhu, Nimai, Navadip Chandra. Wow, imagine that, seeing him in that form. Just before taking sannyas as a wild avadut householder. Just now I've given everything up, your long hair. Where is that sannyasi Keshav Bharati? Lion-like chest. Mahaprabhu, Brahman thread. What a darshan. That's like our Gauranga here in Panchatattva. That's what he's like there, getting out of the boat. Where is that Keshav Bharati Sadhu? O the boot, deher, Joitir Dekia Tahan Utilen Keshav Bharati Punna Bhan. So Dekhiye Tar Adbhut Dehe Jyoti. Taha Adbhut Deher Jyoti. Mahaprabhu Deher Jyoti, his brilliance of his body. Adbhut, which is unprecedented. Jyoti, the brilliance, the illumination, the effulgence of his body. So Utilen Keshav Bharati. Utilen, he stood up. Punnavan, the most pious Keshav Bharati. So then there was the meeting. Mahaprabhu arrived there at that ashram, and we can understand that this was the ashram of Keshav Bharati, because Mahaprabhu mentions that I will go to Katwa, and at the ashram of Keshav Bharati I will meet that best of all sannyasis, and at his ashram I will accept the sannyas. You see, we may be, such a wonderful experience in the Holy Dhamma, but still, Surya Dev is more powerful than us. And we have to abide by his order, and that's the end of the issue. So he was there, that was his ashram, and he was with his sadhus, with his brahmacharis. He was a sannyasi, right there on the bank of Ganga. He would have been doing he's an eternal associate of the Lord. It's revealed in other places. He's not just a Mayavadi, he's an eternal associate who's doing the leela of Ekadanda sannyasi. So Mahaprabhu goes there. Mahaprabhu, he falls down at his feet. Yeah, that's what we're making the point. It's the residence, because then he's put in samadhi there. So why he was put in samadhi there? He's put in samadhi there because that's where his disciples were, as his ashram, and this Gadadhar Das was also there. So in this way, this was his residence, and this is the place where Mahaprabhu went, and there's a tree. Keshav Bharati is there. Mahaprabhu falls down at his feet. Anugraha tumi mare tumi more kore mahashai potit pavan tumi maha kripamai. You are so mahashai kripamai. You be merciful to me. I've come to get your mercy. You give me service to Krishna. Now this is very interesting that we see that in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, this is Chaitanya Bhagavat Leela. Chaitanya Bhagavat is written by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur, Kaviraj Goswami, who wrote Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that Srila Prabhupada has given us. And the encyclopedia, the highest literature that Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In the last few years of his life, he simply read Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, that the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he writes that the authorized biographer of the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Vrindavan Das Thakur. So he's the authorized biographer, Vrindavan Das Thakur. And he writes that Krishna Leela Bhagavate Kohe Bed Vyas. Krishna Leela Bhagavate Kohe Bed Vyas. Vyasadeva Kohe, he speaks Krishna Leela in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Leela Vyas Vrindavan Das. And in the Chaitanya Leela, that Vyasadeva, he appears as Vrindavan Das Thakur. So therefore, the Chaitanya Bhagavat is called Chaitanya Bhagavat because it is the Bhagavatam of Gaur Avatar. It is the Bhagavatam of the Gaur Avatar. Therefore it's called Chaitanya Bhagavat. Chaitanya Bhagavat. It was the Bhagavatam of Gaur Avatar, Gaur Lila. And most of Chaitanya Bhagavat is in Navadip. Most of Chaitanya Bhagavat is 3 kandas. 2 kandas, Adi Khanda, Madhya Khanda, they are in Navadip. And Antya Khanda is only 7 chapters. So Chaitanya Bhagavat is Navadip leela. And we see in Chaitanya Bhagavat, we see there's 2 occasions Mahaprabhu takes Diksha, and both are described in detail. It's very interesting that those 2 events, both are described in detail. In Gaya Dham, Mahaprabhu is coming to Ishwara Puri Prabhupada and requesting to be given the Vaishnav mantra, and he receives 10-syllable Gopal mantra, and he receives Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he receives Shikha. Nache gao bhakti sange koro sankirtan Krishna nama upadeshi tara sharva jon. Nache, dance, gao, sing. Nache gao kore, nache gao kore, koro sankirtan bhakti sange in association of the devotees. Nache gao bhakti sange koro sankirtan. In association of the devotees to Sankirtan, Krishna nam upadeshi. Krishna nam upadeshi. The instructions about Krishna's name. Tara. Upadeshi, you instruct everyone about Krishna's name. Tara, and in that way you deliver Sarvajon. So he received the Shikha as well. And that's all described in detail. And here also, again, his sannyas is described in detail. He's begging Keshav Bharati for, he says that, give me, I have no other desire other than service to Krishna. So please give me service to Krishna. Amazing. Amazing. This is the sannyas, because we should be cautious of becoming too institutionalized in our understanding of the Vaishnava practices and culture. And thinking, what's the sannyasi? Oh, sannyasi is a senior, it's a person that, it's a big position in ISKCON. If I ask you, what's sannyas, and if you say, oh, Prabhu, it's a big position in ISKCON, well, then your understanding perhaps, is very institutionalized. But perhaps that's a very predominant learning. We have that's a predominant, people think like that. A lot of people think, oh, sannyasas, that's a very big position. A lot of people think like that. But actually here, he's saying that I have no other desire than service of Krishna. So sannyas here is being described as being something that's awarded to one, as not as a result of their position, but as a result of their consciousness. Their consciousness. And therefore, when one gets to a point where one wants to enter into a level of complete absorption, and complete absorption without any other interest, like when we see Mahaprabhu after taking sannyas, like he demonstrates that that jopati mantra korere pago. He can't deal with the ordinary things in this world. Kiva mantra dilo goshai. What kind of mantra have you given me, Swami? Kiva tar bol. What is its power? Jopati mantra korele pago. I've chanted this and now I've become mad. I can't deal with the material world anymore. Right? He couldn't sit and give the class. The students would ask the question and the only words would utter from his mouth would be the names of Sri Hari. And he would just talk about it, and then the students were all confused. So therefore it's not possible. For sannyas means that now I can become a madman. And that's what a sannyasi is meant to be. Premanada Vishara Sheshadashaya Grashto Pramato. Shadashaya Grashto means haunted. Pramata means mad. Pramato means mato is a kind of mad mato, but pramato, completely mad. Shada pramato Premanada Vishara Sheshadashaya Grashto Pramato Shada. Sada means constantly. They couldn't deal with this. They weren't dealing with this word, where did I put my key? Where did I put my keys? Their minds weren't able to work like that. Aniket duha bone joto brikagon ek briker tole ek ratre shayon. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, in 19th chapter of the Madhya Leela, the Rupshika, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there it mentions that Kaviraj Goswami is describing that when someone from Bengal went to Vrindavan and returned, then the followers of the two brothers, Rupa and Sanatan, the followers, their devotees of Rupa and Sanatan would ask, how are Rupa and Sanatan in Vrindavan? How are Rupa and Sanatan in Vrindavan? And then they would describe, and he's describing Aniket Duha, Bone Jotobrikagon, that Aniket without a room, without a residence, Aniket Duha, Bone Jotobrikagon, in the forest, that many trees that there are, Bone Jotobrikagon, Ek Briker Tole, Ek Briker Tole, Ek Ratre Shayon, they would lie down under at the root of one tree for one night, and then go to another night. Then next night go to another tree. I mean, that's the renunciation of the Goswamis. They have no car keys. Where do I leave my phone? Where am I going to charge my phone tonight, Baba? This tree's useless. I'm going to look for... Hey, Rup, I'm going looking for another tree. There's nowhere to charge your phone here. What a useless tree. I mean, they had nothing. They had nothing, and that's what sanya means. That you can't deal with the material world anymore. You can't. Such a sannyasi. The other ashrams have to look after these people, because they're entering into the level of complete absorption and love of God, which happens when one practices sadhana. It awakens the original love of Godhead, and when that awakens, then one loses interest in it. That's sannyasi. The satjati, they've already gone to the eternal satjati. They're gone to that spiritual world. They're already situated there, and they just by being in the material world, they give opportunity for the sadhakas to do seva, and therefore and make it a lot of spiritual progress. If you serve such a person. So if you can manage all these things for them, right, then that's the whole idea. That's the whole system. That's the whole system. That's how the person gives mercy. Actually. And we see like that with Srila Prabhupada, so absorbed in the service of Krishna. Give me service of Krishna. Even you can see that Prabhupada so absorbed, like Mahaprabhu is saying, give me service of Krishna, nothing else. Prabhupada was so absorbed in service of Krishna that actually he was incompatible with his peers. None of them could get along with him, because he was too absorbed. He was too uncompromised. He wasn't adjusting with all of the things that would have eventuated at the demise of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and then the followers just accept, well, what can we do? Guru Maharaj is not here now, so, we don't have the same potency. And in this way, everything just gradually becomes... Prabhupada was just uncompromised. And therefore, he was incompatible. He couldn't work with the others because they just didn't want to surrender the way he was surrendering. And Prabhupada took sannyas also for a similar reason, just to be able to complete, I'll just depend on the Lord, I'll just completely took sannyas, completely, and started, same reasons. Prabhupada had dreams, you can't start you can't, to be the spiritual guru and the acharya, you have to give up household life. Prabhupada having these dreams, these things, you can't have, these things. So Prabhupada accepted sannyas for the similar reason, so that he could preach. Mahaprabhu, similarly. Give me the service of Krishna. Arbud lok shuni sheikane. Yeah, so at that time, the five devotees that Nityananda Prabhu had mentioned, that was Chandrasekhar Acharya, Brahmananda Bharati, Mukunda, Gadadhar. They had arrived there, and they were there. Yeah, so at that time, the five devotees that Nityananda Prabhu had mentioned, that was Chandrasekhar Acharya, Brahmananda Bharati, Mukunda, Gadadhar. They had arrived there, and they were there. And then news had gathered by this time, and Vrindavan Thakur says, Arbuddha lok shuni shekhane, Arbuddha. And a translation of Arbuddha is that you can find it is 100 million. Is Arbuddha. It's 100 million. So Arbuddha. Means 100 millions of hundreds of millions, that's a lot of people. Arbuda. Millions and millions of people. And all the people there were simply gathered there with unblinking eyes. They were simply drinking the beauty, exquisite beauty of the Lord's form. And the Lord was doing Sankirtan. Mukunda would come. Mukunda. If we get a chance sometime to visit Bangladesh and we can go to Pundarik Dham, and Pundarik like this, similarly, it's complex like this. We spend days, weeks there, no interruption, on the banks of Radha Kund. So there is also Mukunda Datta, Bhajan Stan, and Vasudev Datta, in under ISKCON's care. So Mahaprabhu, he brought Mukunda with him. He didn't just go and say, okay, yeah, well, whoever's there, they can sing, what does it matter who sings? He didn't do that. For this particular occasion, Mahaprabhu specifically brought his devotee to sing, so that the devotee could sing in such a way to please, literally, to awaken, in alignment with Mahaprabhu's feelings. That someone could sing kirtan in alignment with Mahaprabhu's feelings. It's very interesting. Very interesting. We can discuss that. That, you know, we don't necessarily have to be that indifferent. Because sometimes, even in the kirtan, sometimes you can hear someone that singing the kirtan. You can feel there's a false ego there. You feel there's a false ego there. Like this person, you can feel it when you're hearing the kirtan. That this person is kind of like put in there, false ego there. It's like, and anyway, you can feel that. So, you know, the consciousness of the person, yatra gayanti madbhakta tatra tishtami narada, the consciousness of the person will have his devotee to sing, so that the devotee could sing in such a way to please, literally, to awaken, in alignment with Mahaprabhu's feelings. That someone could sing kirtan in alignment with Mahaprabhu's feelings. It's very interesting. Very interesting. We can discuss that. That, you know, we don't necessarily have to be that indifferent. Because sometimes, even in the kirtan, sometimes you can hear someone that singing the kirtan. You can feel there's a false ego there. You feel there's a false ego there. Like this person, you can feel it when you're hearing the kirtan. That this person is kind of like put in there, false ego there. It's like, and anyway, you can feel that. So, you know, the consciousness of the person, yatra gayanti madbhakta tatra tishtami narada, the consciousness of the person will have an effect on the potency of the Sankirtan. I mean, it's all transcendental, but it's a fact that the consciousness of the person. So Mahaprabhu, he bought his own Sankirtan. He didn't just have anyone. Even a holy name is holy name. And it doesn't matter who's singing. Well, why did he bring his own singer? Because the consciousness has an effect. That you'll be affected just like when you eat the cooking. These are very subtle things. Why we don't say, go to this restaurant, go to that restaurant. They're there, you know, they've got the beady on the side. And they're, what's next? Yeah. And, you know, and they're getting paid. And what they're doing with that money. And then so when you eat that food, you may be a little disturbed for a few days. Right? If you eat that food, or even other things, close association with people like that, touch them, accept things from them, speak with them, you'll be affected. That's why, like here, you can spend these few days just simply bumping into devotees all the time, rubbing up against them. It'll affect you. It'll affect them. Because when you go back out there in the material world, you're back out into the jungle, and all sorts of things are there. So Mahaprabhu bought his own Sankirtan leader, Mukunda, to sing. And he was doing it, and you know, tears are flowing from his eyes. The description of Sachinandan at that time in the ashram of Keshav Bharati on the bank of Maganga. This is in the evening and people are gathering. So the description of him doing Sankirtan and Mukunda singing, that it cannot even be described by Lord Anantadev. Sharbalok Titilo Prabhu Prem Jole Shri Purush Bash Bridhe Hari Hari Bole. He says that Sarvalok Titilo Prabhur Prem Jole. So the tears from the Mahaprabhu's crying in the kirtan of Mukunda at the ashram of Keshav Bharati on the bank of Mahaganga, those tears. Sarvalok Titidala, Prabhura Prem Jol. They soaked. They were, all of the people there were drenched. And all the people who were seeing Mahaprabhu dancing, his long black hair, the kirtan of Mukunda, the mridangas playing, Hari Hara, Mahaprabhu all night dancing, and the tears from his eyes as Mukunda's singing. So all of the people there watching there, they were completely drenched with that prem jol. Shri Purush Bal Brito, that is the women, the men, the strong, the weak, Hari Hari Bole. They were all chanting the holy name. Sometimes the Lord was shivering, sometimes he perspired, and sometimes he would simply fall down unconscious. Ananta Brahmanda Nat Nije Danta Nije Dasha Bhabe Dante Trina Kori Shoba Shtane Nyasha Mone. No, sorry. Shobshtane Dasha Mage, yeah. Ananta Brahmandanat Nija Dash Babe. So the Lord of unlimited universes in Nidya Dash Babe, in the mood of his own servant, a servant of himself. Danta Trinakori, with put straw in his teeth. Danta Trinakori, put straw in his teeth. Shoba Shtane Dasha Mage, and begged in front of everyone for the service of Lord Krishna. Shei Kurunna Dekiya. So seeing this mercy, Shei Kurunya Dekiya. Shei Kurunna Dekiya. Seeing this mercy, why is he describing this as mercy? Amazing. Shei Kurunya Dekiya. Because Mahaprabhu, he's so happy here in Mayapur. They would come in the evening, they would do Sankirtan through the forests, the mango trees. Here just behind is the house of Kulavatra Siddha. Here just behind is the house of Kulavatra Siddha. That's okay. Spiritual and material life, yeah, it's a balancing act, you know. You just got to get the right balance. And then you can just fly. So Mahaprabhu, Kulavatra Siddha's house is just behind here, you know. And after the march on the Chandkazi with all of his followers and tens and thousands of men with lighted lamps, and they marched on the house of the Chandkazi. And that after that, the Chandkazi and the discussion, which is now at the Champa and the Nim Gach in the Champa that you can see in the marketplace there. After that, Mahaprabhu came here and rested. After that Sankirtan, he came here and rested in these gardens. So he was here in enjoying such life. In Sankirtan, where the devotees would come home, Vishnu Priya would cook, prasad, the shak. You imagine what was growing in the nearby jungles and forests and everything. Alao, shak, pepe, aloo, everything, brandy, coffee, kumra, so much you could imagine. And all those Bengali vegetables, and they would cook with ghee, Vishnu Priya at home. Rice, they had rice fields. Sachimata, his mother like that, you know. So why did he give that up? He didn't have to give that up. How is it? And he's the Purushottam, Purushottam, the Supreme Person, the Param Purushottam. Means he's meant to be enjoying these things. It's meant for him, you know. So why does he do this? He abandons that. And can you imagine what Vishnu Priya must feel? What she must? She's only 16 years old, and Prabhu was everything for her. And now she has to live every day It's mentioned there that he didn't come in the evening and rest, and she was there waiting, and he didn't come. Or he rested in a different place. Anyway, he got up in the middle of the night, and it's interesting. He knows, he makes his decision to leave when he considers the breath in his nostrils. And he does that. You can find out the science about that if you're interested. Mahaprabhu knew that science because on 2 occasions he does that. When he leaves from East Bengal, it mentions that considering the moment auspicious by reading the breath coming through his nostrils, Mahaprabhu decided to leave. And similarly, taking sannyas. By considering the breath flow in his nostrils, he decided the auspicious moment had arrived. You can read about it. When they're both, one is stronger than the other, and when they're both even. When they're both even, that's auspicious. So maybe it meant they were both even. And then Mahaprabhu, he maybe cleared it, and get them both even, and then you depart. Some secret tips. You can find this on my astrology website. Now I've got them thinking. So Mahaprabhu's home life, it was so wonderful. You can just imagine such happiness. So he gave that up. Vishnu Priya and Sachimata, they're crying, and it's pain. All the devotees, no, Mahaprabhu. And that perfect experience of Navadip Sankirtan, Mahaprabhu's association, dancing Nityananda, the long hair swaying, and the kirtan all night. And we can't have that anymore. He's going to leave. So why? Why? So, Shei Kurunya Dekiya, when you see him now ready to give all that up, why? There's a mercy. Because the Sankirtan movement wasn't just meant for the Navadip, the Sankirtan movement wasn't just meant for the Navadip Bashis. It wasn't just meant for them. It's meant for us. So this is, him doing this is for us to be able to be it. Shei Kurunya Deki, Kande, Sharbalok, Shannash, Shuniya, Shobe, Babe, Mahashok. Kandiya Sharbalok, they're all crying. And Sannyas Shuniya Shobe Bhabe Mahashok, hearing about his sannyas, everyone is greatly lamenting. And when the ladies heard the word sannyas, when they're seeing his form, and then when they heard the sannyas that mentions that sannyas Shuniya Shobe, the ladies particularly felt such lamentation. And Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur describes because they could relate to Sachimata and Vishnu Priya. And he's taking sannyas. Wow. And they were so pained to consider it. So Keshav Bharati, seeing this Mahaprabhu's mood as he's approaching to take sannyas, and his devotion as his kirtan and his crying. I've never seen such a thing. Mahaprabhu dancing and crying in the kirtan. Shei bhakti tomar ami dekilo noyane ei shakti onner nahe isharer binay. He says that Shei bhakti tomar ami dekilo noyone, with my eyes, this devotion that I'm seeing you demonstrate. A shakti, this power, onner, another, onner, nahe, is not in anyone else. Isher bine, apart from the Supreme Lord. Tumi Shei Jagat Guru Janilo Nishchoy Tomar Guru Jogya Keyu Kobu Noi. You are the Guru of the whole universe, and there is no one who is qualified to become your Guru. Now, this is very interesting, that Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the purport, he says that this is the proper mood of a guru. He says that to be a guru, the method of worshipping Krishna includes constantly worshipping Krishna whilst becoming more humble than the straw in the street. Just like when we see the example of Rupa and Sanatan, humility is described as being extreme. Nidra aha vihadakaji vijito cha atanta dino. They conquered eating, sleeping, recreation, and all material things, and they were atanta dino, means excessively humble. And when Mahaprabhu, he saw this humility, Toma nam rup shanaton doin deki toma doinito fate mormon. Today I'm naming you Rupa and Sanatan. Give up this humility because it's cracking my heart. It had such an effect. It affected Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so much, that humility, it touched him. When 6 weeks later, after Ramkeli, he returned to Jagannath Puri, he calls Jagadananda. He calls Gadadhar Pandit. And he's saying, these men, they're so qualified in their position, in their profession, in the society, in their education, in their piety, in their culture, in their learning, in their devotion. And they consider themselves to be lower than the grass in the street, and they genuinely think that. And when I see that humility, it's just overwhelming for me. You imagine that? That your quality of humility can make the Lord feel overwhelmed. That's in the case of Rupa and Sanatan. And so this is so important in our teachings. The Goswami Siddhanta is to develop humility. That's such an important thing, because that will attract the attention of the Lord. The Lord is attracted to humility. And we have to be careful that if we're in a position where people are offering us the facility as a spiritual leader, then we have to remain, in spite of that environment, one has to always remain humble. Has to remain humble. I know, and that means amanina manadena, that don't expect any honor for oneself, and manadena, always be prepared to honor others. Kirtaniya sada, that will have a big effect on your attachment and your ability to chant. If you act like that, always be considered whoever. Huh? And so you meet people like that. I know devotees like that. I mean, I know like Radhe Shyam Prabhu. He's a devotee like that. He's completely unpretentious. He has no concept of his position. He thinks he's a humble. And you have to be very careful when you deal with that person, because you have to be very careful that you don't in any way belittle or consider them, because he's acting in such a way as your junior, and so you have to become more. You have to become very careful. You won't be able to become more. I mean, sometimes I'm there in the temple and we're together, and they come with a lamp, and they give to me, and I go, and he goes, and then I go, and I can't defeat him. I have to accept the lamp, because he's not. You can't become more humble than a genuinely humble person. That's not possible. But you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful. And trying to conquer nature, or trying to become more powerful. You make sun, but we will make roof. We don't need you. You shine or you don't shine. We have roof. We have light. Rather than trying competing, that takes a lot of. That spoils everything. You don't compete. You just cooperate with. Just cooperate with nature. Yeah? Let her do the work. And you just go to the trees, they give shade, but we have to cooperate a little bit. You can't stay in one place. But just sitting under the tree and enjoy is much better than building a whole big building. You imagine how much effort that would have taken for us to sit in a building here? It would have taken years of your life, so someone has to do that, and so better, just be satisfied. Whatever you should probably, I would expect that most of you have enough. What you have now, that's enough. Be satisfied with that, and you spend the rest of the time now for developing depth in Krishna consciousness, because it takes time to get depth in Krishna consciousness. Develop qualities like this, not easy. Humility. I consider, from my own experience, from coming from Western background, and And we were discussing, actually, last week I was going over my notes in preparation for your association on Mahaprabhu. Or even though last night we were discussing about Mahaprabhu touching Sachimata's on the chest and then holding her hands, and Vishwarup touching the feet of the itinerant Brahmin as he came when he's taking the prasadam in the house of, I spoke that the other evening in the Mayapur Institute, that leela. And so it's not an easy thing to bow down to a person. In Western culture, people don't bow down to people. They maybe at best they get on one knee in the temple, in the church, but they don't bow down to the priests. They don't do that. They don't bow down. It's not the thing in the Western culture. And for Western people, to bow down, that's something that is of the Acharya's association. So you can make Western people bow down to the Guru. And what does people bow down to? Actually touch the feet. I didn't know about touching feet till I went to Bangladesh. And then I understood that this is how you can get the mercy. You can touch the feet. If you can get the feet, you can get that dust, and it's very powerful. You can, if you can get the dust, from the feet of a advanced spiritual personality, then you get their qualities, and they actually burn up your. They take your, and they because of their bhajan, they can you can unload, you can offload so many bad qualities by touching the feet of an advanced Vaishnava. Because they have such power that they can chew it up, spit it out in a moment. It's gone. But with you, it was like really weighing you down. But it does go somewhere. It goes through their burning and their potency, their sadhana practice and the power of that, and it gets destroyed. And then just by touching them, you get so much potency, because they're surcharged with spiritual potency. Their tongue, which vibrates the holy name all the time. That tongue is special, and everything out. The eyes that see the Lord, the hands that worship the Lord, touch the Lord. They're all. So when you touch that person, the feet that have traveled so far in the service of the Lord, you touch those, then you get some. They're being used in the service of the Lord. Just imagine how far Prabhupada travelled with his lotus feet in the service of Sri Hari. So you could touch those feet. So these are some. So, anyways, we're on humility. Yeah. So we have to develop the qualities. It takes time. So I was saying, whatever you have now in life, that's enough. And now get serious about. Let me try to develop real humility. It takes time. You have to give up all of your preconceived attachments to how special I am. How much I've done in my life, how wealthy I am, how much influence I have. How my family, how they're all successful. All of these things are called upadi. They're temporary designations that we become attached to. So these things we have to lose interest in and develop interest in hearing and chanting, to be able to be ready to enter the spiritual world, and that takes a conscientious effort. That takes full absorption. It's not something you can a part-time program and expect to make real progress. So you have to start considering about how I can minimize my involvement with this material world and increase my time to be able to focus on the sadhana practice. And of course, if you're in a situation where you haven't actually entangled yourself in a major material circumstances, you're single, then stay single. If you're interested in spiritual achievement, because it's so much easier for a person who's single, because they can dedicate their full energy to that and become a servant of Guru in full absorption and get the full mercy of Guru Asray. In single life you can do that. In household life you can't. You come, well, I'm here now. Okay, well, we'll see you next time. I'm going back to the real master. Because that's more important to me than staying here at your lotus feet and serving your mission. And I'm part-time, okay. Okay. Also, that's ISKCON. In Gaudiya Math, you wouldn't have even been looked at. Who are you, mate? We have no time for you. You want to see Guru Maharaj? You want to bring some money? But in ISKCON, that everyone, the householders are given so much respect. Because householders can, have a major effect on preaching. So many empowered householders are preaching. So it's the potency of the Sankirtan movement. Before I was on that, householders, what did I say? No, after that. No, sadhana, householders came. Oh yeah, that's right. You have to put energy into it. You have to put energy into it. So you can remain in household life, but get serious. Not that you're attached to all these concepts that, always thinking. It doesn't matter about where you're situated, whether I'm in the family, grihe babone te take, but it's where's your mind. If you're all the time absorbed in the day-to-day activities, the price of this, the price of that, and to try to get money out of this, and to try to this and that, if your mind's absorbed in that all the time, then your progress in spiritual life will be slower. But if your mind is absorbed in the transcendental hearing and chanting, and hearing about the Lord, or serving the Lord in some way, serving the mission of the Lord, and that way then it's a lot easier for you to develop good qualities. A lot easier, just like we were discussing with Sandesh. Where's Sandesh? Is he here? He's going on the Sankirtan party. Sandesh. Yeah, Sandesh. And Sandesh is so happy. Look at him, it's like, So what's the secret? He's going on the Sankirtan bus. Why? Because in that environment, you've got no choice. You have to become a spirit soul. Otherwise, you can't. All of a sudden, there's no other way to function except as an eternal servant of Sri Hari, and you're completely dependent. And he's the master, and I'm taking baths to serve you, and then we're doing Harinam, chanting your name, distributing your books, and then you'll give us somewhere to stay, and then we'll stay, and you'll give us food, and the next day we'll serve you, and it's like there's no way you can become attached to anything. And then you become so happy. So brahmachari life, you can live like that for many years. Householder, you can on occasion experience that, come for a weekend retreat, but we're just telling you. But a brahmachari, he can just relax and just like spend years completely focused. Number one thing on my day today is a guru's order. How dare you become the Krishna if you can live your life like that? Number one thing, I wake up in the morning, what's number one thing? Oh, this, that, and down the bottom there. Oh, do something for Krishna. No. But number one every day, serve Guru's order. And everything in the ashram life and ISKCON life is just to help you do that, support it, designed to facilitate you doing that. I mean, wow, brahmachari life. In order to make spiritual advancement and develop humility. So if you're not in household life yet, then seriously consider don't getting into it. Because it'll be much easier. Prahlad says that Jado Jadisat Tadbrita Sangama. What is that? No, it's around there. But he says that about Jodishat Bhagavat Priyasha Yaprana Britya Paritushta Atmavan Siddhyat Adura Nata Tendriya Priyaha. Prahlad Maharaj, he's saying that he's getting benedictions from Lord Nrsimhadev, and he says that if there should be some association, I don't desire anything but only you, but if you give me any, then give me association who are Bhagavat Priya, those who the Lord is very dear to. Jodi Bhagavat Priya Shot. Ya Prana Britya Paritushta Atmavan, to associate with those who are Prana Britya Paritushta, means they're completely satisfied, just their life means Prana Britya, means just keeping to myself alive. Means breakfast, whatever Krishna provides, yes, we'll take some of that. And sleeping, wherever Krishna provides, yeah, we're happy with that. And that's all the energy you put into it. So it's that person, that's called Prana Britya Paritushta. The minimal energy of keeping the body alive, they're giving. You can do that in ISKCON. Prasadam will come, you just hang around in ISKCON, you'll get fed. Right? It's like everywhere, you can't avoid it. It'll be prasadam, you just sit here, it'll come. Or maybe you go somewhere where you're expecting it to come, but all you have to do is sit. It comes, prasadam. So that means you don't have to worry about it. In a brahmachari, it means you don't have to worry. I can forget about it the rest of life. That's it. Close that account. My eating, boom. Krishna will manage that for me. Wow. And sleeping also, I don't need to worry about a house. Wow. I mean, these guys, they're all grey hair. Why? Because it's paying the mortgage. It takes decades. Am I overestimating? It takes decades to pay off a house. To buy your own apartment in Mumbai. How long does that take? And if you're not in your own apartment, then you're pouring money into someone else's pocket and like you're the biggest fool. Right? I mean, but to buy an apartment, pay off the mortgage means I think you're hanging on the ledge for years, you know, and you just got to work. Pay it off, pay it off, pay it off. Is that not it? Right? And you guys, you don't even have to think about a house. Wow. I mean, you know, it's not easier. Right? And don't have to think about eating. And anything happens and the cloth will come in and say, and so Prahlad says, your prana paridushta atmavan siddhyat yadura na tatendriya priya. Siddhyat naduran. For them, those people who are satisfied just with the bare necessity, perfection is very quickly achieved. Naduran. Na tatendriya priyaha. But for those who very much important to them is indriya priya, the pleasure we get from the senses, them that perfection is not so easy to attain. So if you can pay that price, that I'm happy with whatever bed the Lord gives, whatever food the Lord gives, if you're satisfied with that, then for you perfection very easy. But for those who they need more for their senses, it's harder work for them to get perfection. So developing humility, and it's very important. And before initiating Mahaprabhu, Keshav Bharati is mentioning that I'm not qualified to initiate you. No one is. Prabhu bole, Maya more na koro prakash. Maya more na koro prakash. You don't try and bewilder me. Don't try and deceive me. He said, I'm not qualified to initiate you. Mahaprabhu says, Maya more na koro prakash. You don't try and trick me. Hena dikha deho jeno hoy Krishna Das. You give me initiation by which I become Krishna Das. Heno dikha deho. You give me, he orders. Dikha deho. Jeno hoy Krishna Das, which will make me Krishna's servant. It's so amazing how the ceremony is so important. The ceremony, you know, of being initiated. And once you've got that sannyasa, you can't change it. You can't change. Like marriage. Actually, marriage is meant to be like that. But unfortunately, in the Western culture, it doesn't have that significance. People just get married again. They get married again. And devotees also, they're married many times. But it's meant to be like this sannyas, that when you take it, that's it. The door's closed. I can't enjoy the world anymore. I'm Krishna Das. There's no way and no facility for a sannyasi. No one will. You know, so the ashram is so important. The ashram is so meaningful. That's it. The whole of the world will be dealing with you like that. You can't just go somewhere and like, I'm a sannyasi sometimes, and the rest of the time, you know, give me the TV and it's a packet of chips, and I'll watch the cricket, Australia and India. You know, having time off. You can't do that. Because just like our sannyasis, I know some of our sannyasis, they weren't going to the Middle East because they didn't want to take off the sannyas dress. You can't do that. You have to always be dressed that I am the beggar, I am the, you know, and there's no other dress you can wear. You're always, this is so important, the ashram. But in the modern times, you know, we will take these things, we'll get initiation, or we'll get married, and then we'll just, it's not so important, just find it, according to my convenience, find another wife. I think in India now divorce is also becoming acceptable. But that means you're losing all the culture. Because only a cultured person can understand the importance of a vow. And because then I keep that, no, I don't have to tell people, I don't have to broadcast it, but it's something between me and Sri Hari. And I'm going to maintain this because it will please you. And we think that, but in the Western culture, we think it's all about the result. Well, it doesn't matter, compromise, somehow or other get it, just get the result. Just, you know, tick it off in the cell. But actually in the Vedic culture, the way you do it, it does have an effect. So the whole point is to have a relationship, and the whole idea of maintaining a brata is to make you a lover. And then this you can show. You want to be the lover, then show how you're the lover. Then this is something I can do. This is what lovers do. They're serious. Let me show you. So that's why we get the opportunity to follow a brata. It's to show that we're a genuine lover. And the Lord intimately, He reciprocates with that. And that's how He's pleased. It's like intimacy of lovers, two people together. And you're following the vows so that in that way you're giving pleasure to Prabhu. And that's how you have the relationship. So the vows, they're so important. And the sannyas, they're so important thing. And it's all about culture. And so in householder life, right from the very beginning, we inculcate that into the minds of the children, how important these things are. The Brahminical values, cleanliness, punctuality, bow down, humility, you have to inculcate that into the minds. This is so important. So therefore, following a vow is something you have to inculcate into. Because in the West, we didn't have that inculcation. When I was at the school, and when I was 13, 14, 15 years old, and my teachers, these were people who had been through the 60s, and now they're teachers in the 70s. And they would make us call them by their first name, the teacher in the class. Just call me Mike, just call me Pete. And they'd have this sort of relationship. It was like what it was like then, and that was the mood then. So the idea is there that's a value that came in 60s, that there's no seniority, everyone is equal, it's kind of mixed up, it's tamagun, it's all irresponsibility, you don't need to have marriage, just have sex, it's all. And there's no rules, there's no senior, there's no punishment, that's just all, this is the thing. So people, they don't want to be given respect. Because if you show me respect, that means you're expecting me to act in a respectable way. If you show me respect, that means I have to behave at a certain standard. So therefore, don't show me respect, and then it doesn't matter how I behave. So don't show me any formal respect. Don't call me sir, and then I can just be what I like. And this is so these values are indoctrinated into the Western mind. You grow up like that. So all of these things are entering into, but in Vedic culture it's completely different. Respect for senior is very important. It's something that you would never compromise. Something you'd never compromise. So like the order of your father or the order of your brother, or, especially if they're a Vaishnava, or order of the Guru, or take the vows. So that comes as a result of training. And you have to give that to the next generation. And you get that in Gurukul also, as a brahmachari, you get that, you learn these things. You can get trained in these things. And they can become permanent qualities that can attract Krishna. Krishna becomes attracted by one who manifests such qualities. So the next morning, that was night time. The Lord came and all day in the boat, and then in the evening, and then He spoke with Keshav Bharati, you give me sannyas. And then they took rest. Late at night now, they all took rest there. Then the next morning, Mahaprabhu, he ordered Chandrasekhar, another of his associates who he brought, we told to come. He said that you arrange everything. You're qualified, and I appoint you to organize all of these rituals that we have to do today for the sannyas. All the ingredients, all of the items, everything. So Vrindavana's Thakur explains that the ingredients and the different items that were required and that were being brought by the people from the villages nearby cannot be described. Dahi, Dugda, Grita, Mugda, Tambula Chandan, Pushpa, Jagya Shutra, Bastra, Ane, Sarvajan. So Sarvajan, all of the people at Ane, they're bringing the dahi, the milk, dugdha, yogurt, or dahi is yogurt, dugdha milk, and grita ghee, moong dal, tumbul, chandan, sandalwood, pushpa, flowers, jagya shutra means the different threads, and sacred threads, the bastra, and the cloth. Ane, they're bringing Sarvajan. Padam Anande Shabe Kore Hari Doni Hari bina log mukhe ar nahi shuni. Hari bina, apart from the Lord's name, log mukhe, from the mouths of the people, nahi shuni. There's nothing else we hear. We're hearing. Tobe Mahaprabhu Sarva Jagate Pran Boshila Korite Shri Shikha Antudhan. The Sarva Jagate Pran, the life of the universe, the life of all, sat down. Boshile Korite. He sat down, Korite, Shri Shikha Antudhan, to have his head shaven. Under that tree that we saw in the corner of the temple. Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is explaining that the idea of saving the hair and the shika is because at this time the Bengal, so generally those who were with Sika and Brahman thread were performing the rituals of the Karma Kanda, and the Vaishnava, the Vedic householders are very much attached to that. So the idea of taking sannyas on the path of Jnana Marg, would be that the person is indicating that they're no longer interested in trying to improve their situation in the material world through the Vedic procedures. Triguna Vishaya Beda. Triguna Vishaya Beda. The Vedas are dealing mainly with how to enjoy in this world in a legal way. So shaving the hair, shaving the Sika, taking off the Brahman thread, accepting sannyas is indicating that the person is no longer interested in enjoying in this world. Karma sannyas. But Mahaprabhu explains that in the Goswami line, the Goswamis of Vrindavan, they accepted sannyas as much as from Mahaprabhu. They changed the names and they were given the order. And they would wear one cloth and they would keep shika. The Goswamis of Vrindavan were keeping shika and Brahman thread. And they were using that. So the Vaishnava can use these things in the service of the Lord. But for the purpose of formality of accepting the formal sannyas, Mahaprabhu is going to clean shave in his head. So the barber, he couldn't even touch the head of the Lord. Imagine the Lord sitting there, with his cloth there, with the same dhoti. He would just be wearing his nice grihastha dhoti, and his Brahman thread. Now shave my head. And the barber, he comes, but he couldn't. It's like, he couldn't. His hands is trembling. He couldn't. And all the devotees, Nityananda Adi Kori, Jota Bhaktagan, Bhumite Poriya Shabe Koren Krandan. Bhumite Poriya, everyone's falling on the ground. Nityananda, when the Lord's sitting there, they come out. Bhumite Poriya Koren Krandan, crying on the ground. No, please don't do it. It's just a chaotic situation. The barber's there, he can't even, the Mahaprabhu is ordering, shave my head. And the barber is there, and then the devotees are just crying and weeping and falling on the ground. It's chaos. It's chaos. Although the people who were there, they're all crying. One woman calls out, who has invented this sannyas system anyway? All the demigods also were hidden from view. They're also watching. All the people are crying. Then Mahaprabhu, he gets up. Mahaprabhu gets up. Bolo bolo kori, Prabhu ute, Bishambar, Goyena, Mukunda Prabhu nache, Nirantar. Mahaprabhu jumps up and he calls to Mukunda, chant, chant. Mukunda begins to sing and the Lord's dancing. He's the Baba's there, he says, cut my hair. And then he does this and everyone's following. Mahaprabhu jumps, sing, do kirtan. Mahaprabhu again, back into the kirtan, swaying backwards and forwards, his hair swaying from side to side. So then again the Lord sits down, but he's unable to remain still and the tears are flowing from his eyes. And this way the Lord's constantly roaring, Hari Hari, Hari Hari. And the barber was just unable to. In this way, but again and again, the Lord's getting up and kirtan, again and again sitting. And this went on the whole day. So eventually, by the end of the day, in some ecstatic love mood, the Lord's head was shaved. And then the Lord went down to the Ganga, and afternoon, evening, he took bath completely. So then came back and wearing the cloth of a sannyasi, a fresh cloth given after taking baths, shaved head. What an experience, huh? We don't have anyone here with really long hair, but whoa, you imagine that? That's really got style. Right? Like I've had like this for 30 years, 35 years, so even if we were to take sannyas, which we're not planning on, there's no hidden meaning behind these sessions. And all this kicking the householders in the head today quite a bit too. So, we shave up. But when you shave your head, you feel very humble. A cleanly shaven head is very humbling. You should try sometime, a little long there. Yeah, has a big effect on your mind. But could you imagine that Sachinandana have this long, beautiful, since the time he was child, that beautiful, they never cut, that beautiful Brahman's long black hair, curly. I mean, how he would be feeling, having that shaven. And then going to the Ganga and taking bath and coming up and putting on fresh, for the first time ever, saffron cloth. I mean, that's style. Right? When the Lord comes to perform his leela as a Brahmin who gives up household life and he does it in first class, super experience. So he's sitting there under the tree, and Keshav Bharati Maharaj comes. Prabhu Mahaprabhu speaks. Prabhu kohe, Shopne more kona mahajan, karne shanasher mantra koyele koton. That in a dream, a kona mahajan, some great soul, some great saint, kona mahajan, karne in my ear, sannyashe mantra, the mantra for sannyas. Kohilo koton, he's spoken it into my ear. So please examine this mantra that I got in the dream from this Kon Mahajan. You please examine if that is correct or not. So Mahaprabhu speaking like this, he then spoke that mantra into the ear of Keshav Bharati. Spoke that mantra. So, Siddhanta Sastri Thakur is explaining here that, Mahaprabhu doesn't make a big thing about this for the people in general to see, like standing there, I am God, just see, you think you're the Guru, but you can never initiate me, I am the original initiator. And he doesn't do that. He's Bhakti Rupa. He's actually going there, and the people in general, they think that Nimai Pandit has come here and shaven his head and become sannyasi. They don't think... that's the idea. So, he quietly initiates. He doesn't say that first you say, or even say, I am Guru, now let me initiate. No, he does it quietly so that the people don't know that. And he's saying, did this mantra I got, is this correct? And he initiates Keshav Bharati. And then he formally takes the mantra of initiation so that all the people see that he was initiated by the sannyasi. And of course, when hearing the mantra, Keshav Bharati was very impressed. He said, this is the best of all mantras. And he initiated, he spoke that mantra. And he handed, the Lord put on the enchanting saffron dress. He handed him the danda, and he spoke the sannyas mantra into his ear. Chatur dike harinam Shumangal Dani Shanash Korilo Vaikunter Chodamani. The crest jewel of the Vaikunta, the crest jewel of the four directions of the Vaikunta planets. had accepted sannyas, and auspicious sound of the holy name, Chaturdeki Harinam Shumangoldani, the holy name was heard in all directions. And the Lord looked so beautiful, dressed in his enchanting saffron cloth, with his body and head decorated with sandalwood chandan on his forehead and his body. He looked like millions of cupids, holding his danda and kamandalu, a water pot of a sannyasi. And he was overwhelmed, but after this experience, he was overwhelmed with prema, ecstatic love. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, he's mentioning about how in the Vishnu Sahasranam, the sannyas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioned. Suvarna Varna Hemango Varangas Chandan Angadi. Varangas Chandan Angadi. Chandananga. This verse is very much related to this particular leela. Chandananga. The Chandan is anointing his various limbs. Sannyasa Kriksh. He accepts the sannyas. Shamaha Nishta Shanti Parayana. And he's the embodiment of depth and ocean of peace as he propagates the Sankirtan movement. So, sannyasa kriksh, this is very extraordinary. There's no other form of the Lord that accepts such penance as personal tapashvi, as sannyasi. And one gives up household life, one gives up the comforts and becomes a beggar. This is the uncommon leela of the Chaitanya avatar. He becomes a beggar and accepts the life of a renunciate and accepts personal penances and difficulties for people in general as he spreads the holy name. So he's mentioned in Vishnu Sahasranam, and Vrindavan Das Thakur is referring to the verse. So now Keshav Bharati, he is going to award Nimai Pandit a name. Award Nimai Pandit a name. He said that I cannot find a Vaishnava like you within the 14 worlds. You're completely unique, incomparable. So therefore I have to give a completely unique and incomparable name for you. Means I won't give you just the name of my Sampradaya, Bharati Swami, which would have been the usual. I have to give you just a name that only especially for you. So as he was thinking in this way, Shuddha Saraswati, Shuddha Saraswati. And actually, Vrindavan, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his comment, he talks about Shuddha Saraswati and Dushta Saraswati. There's two Saraswati. The Dushta Saraswati is the Saraswati who awards success for those who want material learning. And Shuddha Saraswati, she benedicts those who want spiritual learning. So he was blessed by Shuddha Saraswati. Just like that, the leela there of Keshav Kashmiri, she said, the purpose of the mantra I gave you was not to just become the Digbijay, but to attain the shoulder of the lotus feet of my Prabhu. So Shuddha Saraswati. So she appeared on his tongue. Shuddha Saraswati appeared on Keshav Bharati Maharaj's tongue, just at that moment. And he said, Eteke toma naam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sarva Lok Tomar Hoite Jate Hoilo Dhanno. So I'm giving you the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya because he said that Sarva Lok Toma Hoite Jate Hoilo Dhanno, because you've given the life, the Chaitanya is the life. You've given life to all people by making them fortunate, by spreading the holy name. You've given life to everyone and everyone will become fortunate. And you've done that, you've given them life, Chaitanya, Chaitanya, by spreading the name of Sri Krishna. So her name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. So all the devotees there, they all chanted Jai. And flowers were showered by the demigods in that scene. And everyone was floating in transcendental happiness. And the vibration of the holy name filled all directions. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Naam Hoilo Prakash Dandavat hoya podida shabdash. In this way, Dandavat hoya podila shabdas. All the devotees, they fell down to pay obeisances. Dandavat hoya podila, they all fall down to pay obeisances. Shabdash, all the devotees. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nam Hoyilo Prakash. When Keshav Bharati spoke the name and awarded it to Nimai Pandit, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, all the devotees fell down and paid their Dandavat obeisances. Ar Kota Lila Rosh, Hoilo Sheshtane, Nityananda Sharupe, Sheshab, Tatta Jane. There were so many other leelas that were performed at that special place at that time. Only Lord Nityananda Prabhu knows these things. Sharva Vaishnav Pai More Namaskar. Ite Aparad Kichu Na Lave Amar. He's praying now after describing this leela of Mahaprabhu accepting sannyas. What's the time? Okay. Vaishnav Pai, Sharva Vaishnav Paye, to the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas. Sharva Vaishnav Paye, unto the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas. Sharva Vaishnav Paye. We were talking about humility. We were talking about the humility of Rupa and Sanatan. How Mahaprabhu said that it had such an effect on me. And how humility is such a quality that will attract the Lord so surely. And that how we have to protect, we have to develop humility even though the people will be wanting to serve us and wanting to make us big. Have to be careful about not thinking that we're big. And here he says, Sarva Vaishnav Paye. Sarva Vaishnav Paye, he's Vrindavan Thakur, who's sitting here, Mamgachi, he's seeing this leela of Mahaprabhu. Going, sannyas, Nityananda, Keshav Bharati, in the month of the discussion. He's seeing this. How is he saying that Nityananda Prabhu is dictating it? He's sitting in his heart. He's writing this poetry. Now this person, Vrindavan Thakur, such an exalted Vaishnav, he says, Sarva Vaishnav Paye Mora Namaskar. My obeisances to the lotus feet. Also, and we're too, well, I don't have to pay obeisances to all these. I'm a senior devotee now. I don't see him saying that. Now I'm a senior devotee. Only the senior amongst you I'll pay obeisances to, and the others, well, become senior one day. That's my blessing. No, he doesn't say that. Mate, he says, Sarva Vaishnav Paye, Sarva Vaishnav Paye, more Namaskar. This is what we should follow. We should emulate this. Ite aparad kichu na labe amar, that I have no committed any offense in describing these subjects to you. E mate maddo konde Prabhu Shannash Jai kota shunile hoy Chaitanya dash. E motto maddo konda Prabhu Shannash. In this maddo konda Prabhu Shannash Jai kota shunile. Those who hear this, Jai kota shunile Hoy Chaitanya dash. They become the servant of Chaitanya. You only understood it when I said it in English. You didn't understood before, yeah? But it was a delayed response. Very interesting, yeah. After then, but actually, yeah, you Chaitanya dash. Anybody here interested in becoming Chaitanya dash? So very nice, huh? Madhakande Isher Shannash Grahan Iha Shrabane Mile Krishna Prem Dhan. Yeah. So Iha Shraban Mile. Those who hear this, Mile, they will come in contact with Krishna Prem Dhan, the wealth of love of Krishna. Madhakand Ishar Shannas Grahan. When you hear in Madhakanda the leela of the Supreme Lord accepting sannyas, if you hear that, then you're going to come in contact with the true treasure of Krishna Prema.